guys, so Sunday here, we have 2 weeks left in September. We've had 3 so far. All right, so September, we have our 5 weeks, so tons of time to hit our goals. Main thing, guys, Palantir, I'll check that out. Main thing coming into this week is, for me, it's just to keep building. That's it. Brick by brick by brick. Last week was choppy. I took Friday off because basically of quad witching, and last week was tough. So if we go take a look at last week, guys, if we take a look at the weekly candle, I mean, we really didn't do a whole lot in the weekly candle. We just eventually we dropped from, where we hit a high of 448, we hit a low of 440. So we dropped about 2%. Most of that came on Friday. So if you look at, this was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Monday we were here. Tuesday, we broke through Monday's lows. Looked like, okay, here's the sell-off. Nope. Wednesday, okay, here we go. Here's the reversal. Nope. Thursday, here we're going to drop. Nope. Friday, finally, afternoon break, sell-off. And if you actually look what happened, hold on. If you look what happened the previous Friday, it was kind of the same thing, right? Here was that afternoon sell-off. We had more or less nothing all week, afternoon, 3 p.m. dump. And same thing with Friday this week. So guys, understanding when to step back. Last week, I knew, hey, I don't have the mental stability. Being very honest, if I get into a tough trade, if I size up too much on a trade and then I hesitate to sell for a loss on quad witching, I may blow the week, right? I may blow a significant amount of the week. I may go red on the week. So I was best to just, take a step back. Right. So coming into this week, I really just want to get confidence in the market early on. That's my goal. Start with green week, move forward from there. In terms of my journaling over the weekend, I was pretty happy with my week of trading. Again, it was not the easiest week. So coming into this week, I really just want to keep building on good trades. Okay. And the one adjustment I made last week, guys, was for red days. Okay. On red days, I want to be trading the EMA rejection. Okay. On the green days, I think the market, the breakouts to the upside, those break and push much easier. Okay. So like, for example, what really broke last week? Like a firm maybe, right? So when we get the breakouts, we tend to push really hard without really even needing any EMA retest or pullbacks or anything. Like right here, right? We broke through 115 here. And if you're waiting for that EMA pullback, you're really not going to get it. This push from 115. So the break on the way up, I think I like going for it right on the breakout. But the thing is, guys, on the downside, the thing is the market, majority of the people, investors want the market to go up, right? So you're going to have a lot of dip buyers show up. It's not going to be as smooth to the downside. So what you want to look for on the downside is playing the EMA rejection. Try to identify a weak tape and then just try to sit and play those EMA bounces. So Friday was a great example. I wasn't trading, but I know I called this out a lot throughout the day for you guys. And really just playing these rejections. So here, first drop, here's your EMA rejection. Boom, there's an entry. Here we go again. Again, nice big H here. Let's say you missed this entry. Boom, here's your next entry on it. It's going to give the retest, fall apart. Okay, here's another quick one here for the low. All right, so on the way down, that was an adjustment I made last week that I want to continue into this week. On the red days, play the EMA at rejection, okay? All right, so let's get into the actual watch list. We'll go through all of our charting, but on the mental side, when I'm doing my journaling, preparing Sunday night, my intention for this week is just to keep pushing, no crazy changes, get my confidence up, and that's it. On Sundays, guys, I think it's very important to talk to yourself and set your intention for the week. Don't just show up Monday morning like, oh, I'm just going to be a great trader. I'm just going to do my best. Like, that's not going to count. Set your intentions, plan for it, and then just execute, right? And be direct with what you want. So here, guys, with SPY, what I'm watching for, we finally broke to the downside, right? We've been watching for this for a long time, a very long time. So we finally broke, happened Friday afternoon. Now, the tough thing to tell, guys, is it just because of quad witching? Or is it because there's maybe more under the hood, right? So we see this, guys, we finally break here to the downside. What I'm going to be watching is Friday's low. If we dip below Friday's low, I think we're going to come pretty quickly into this 435 area. I think 435 is where you probably want to hit a dip buy. What I'm going to be watching for on the dip buy, guys, is this 4-hour RSI. Okay, so SPY, when it hits 25 on the 4-hour, that's your buy. Okay, so here we go. This is our buy here, 25 on the 4-hour. There's your dip buy. Again, it's not buy here, sell here. It's buy here, sell here, right? Because you don't know what's going to happen after that. It's easy to say in hindsight. But if we get that all the way, currently we're at around a 33. If tomorrow we gap down, we push even further, maybe look to be bullish on that dip. Okay, look for that 4-hour RSI. Maybe buy yourself 2 weeks time, and we should see a pretty nice bounce off that level. Okay, so that is what I'll be watching for, guys. And in terms of the chart, technically the trend is broken, so we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, it could be a nasty trap to trap shorts, right? We've seen it happen so many times before, guys. This could just turn out to be a big trap, right? And then take it the other direction. So we'll see what happens. Another chart I'm watching, guys, this week is AMD. Okay, so we're looking for this to move. These are daily candles here, guys. This has not moved in like 2 months. Okay, besides these small moves, but I haven't traded this, right, at all. Once this was done, we got the way up, we got the way down. I haven't traded this at all. So what we want to see, guys, is a move out of this trend one way or the other. So either to the downside here, okay, or we want to see a very strong move. And guys, we need to see strong volume show up if we're going to go to the upside. If we can go to the downside, I think the downside looks pretty clear with regular volume. To break this meaningfully to the upside and not end up like this, we need strong volume. Okay, we really need a lot of volume. We need to take out this level. Then the next test will be this 112, then 116, and then 120. Okay, so if we want to see that move to the upside, there needs to be convincing volume. All right, it can't just be like, oh yeah, maybe. It needs to be call sweeps hitting it, tons of volume coming, maybe some upgrades, some bullish, the index is pushing higher, all that, right, guys? If we have SPY dropping, no call sweeps coming through and low volume, don't try to trade this to the upside. Just wait, okay? Asana Group, I think, looking to short this thing here, guys, right? And again, this is building off the webinar that Yaya and I did on Thursday or Wednesday, one of the two, last week. Shorting these extreme moves, right? These parabolic moves. This stock currently, I believe the RSI is around 84. Let me double check. 80, okay, it was 82, 83, cooled off to 80. So what I'd like to see, guys, is just a little bit more chasing. I'd like to see the bulls chase this a little bit more. Push this into 125, 130. Currently, the 9 EMA is at 105. So if we can get this tomorrow or Tuesday in the 125, 130 range, and the EMA stays near 110, that's a really good gap. Clearly a lot of green candles here, high RSI. And guys, at the end of the day, this has no shorts to squeeze. And the company's not even profitable, right? So in terms of like, would I want to be shorting Amazon if I was doing this? Maybe not, because Amazon's one of the world-class company, but it's just a hype move, right? So this will probably end up very similar to this, right? It's just a matter of timing it properly. You don't want to be trying to short AMD here, right? And then getting squeezed out here, and then, oh, I fucking knew it, I should have held here, right? You need to be very patient, guys. Trading these tops is not the easiest thing. And honestly, you're better off missing it than being early and taking a loss. I'd rather miss it, make $0 than be early, take a loss, and then waste time, right? So this is kind of my trigger area. If we get it in 125, 130, that's where I'll be looking to hit it, all right? Tesla, liking this. Basically for the last few weeks, I've been calling Tesla is going to be strong to the end of the year. They are going to be the ones who lead the way. The reason being, they have to play catch up to the S&P. They cannot be the third, fourth largest holding in the entire S&P 500 and end the year flat as the S&P is up 20%. That makes no sense. So they're going to play catch up, guys. We've seen huge call sweeps hit this thing, like massive call sweeps, right? So we'll watch to see what happens here. I think this looks good over over last week's high. So these are weekly candles here, guys. Last week's high was 765. Okay, can push to 780. So that was this big level here. March drop, March recovery, sold off again. This is going to be that level that needs to flip. This needs to flip from a resistance to a support. So we need to claim 780, and then from there we can push higher. The level after that will be the whole number 800, and then all-time high is around 890. Okay, so we have, at that point, we could be seeing Tesla at all-time highs pretty soon. All right. It's really only not even, what is it, 10% away? Not even. What is Tesla from all-time highs? This can do it soon. 15%. All right. So yeah, we could still see it. And year to date, still only at 7%, right? So it can happen, guys. We can see this happen for sure. But this is a big watch for this week. And then lastly, guys, Affirm. I have a feeling this thing's going to do something wild. Just the way that it's setting up here, right? I think that there's probably a lot of shorts who are stuck in this range, honestly, and they're still waiting for this to fall. So what happened here is we had the gap up. These are weekly candles. We had a gap up on Amazon partnership right here. Then we had consolidation. Then we had an earnings gap up here. So I think that there's still some ugly shorts who are going to be stuck here. And majority of shorts, every short is going to be underwater by the time we hit here, all-time high. And every long is going to be green by the time we hit all-time highs. Doesn't matter if you bought the absolute top here and you were down massively here. When we break this, you're going to be green. Your confidence is going to be up, right? So if we break that level, guys, I think you can see a huge move. And it really wouldn't shock me. The way that we've held 100 here, we gapped up. We never even tried to fill this gap. We held 100. Last week, we they had a week open on Monday, By the end of the week, they were pushing 120 again, right? So the stock is strong. Watch for the 125 break here, guys. All-time high, 146. So there's a little bit of room to trade in between here. And then that 146 break is going to be a very big level. All right. So those are my top stocks to watch. In terms of earnings this week, guys, nothing huge in terms of tech. We're kind of past the tech earnings at this point. What I will be watching here is FedEx. All right. They have a decent option market when they move. You can trade them a little bit. Nike, Costco, and those are basically the only three. I mean, you could keep an eye on BlackBerry if you'd like. Maybe they can pull a meme move, but I don't really care for that. For the most part, I would just say it's unlikely that it will happen. But these are the three that I'll be watching: FedEx, Nike, and Costco. All right. And then lastly here, before we go into different stocks, is the economic calendar, guys. I posted this in the pro option chat. Very important, guys, to know where what I always call these are planned events. This is traffic that you know is going to happen. Okay, so plan your week around it. If you say, "Oh, I'm just gonna, take it easy Monday and then really try to step on it Tuesday, Wednesday," well, guess what? We have FOMC Tuesday, Wednesday. So you probably want to try to step on it tomorrow if you get the opportunities, and then cool off on Wednesday because of FOMC. All right, you know that these are coming, so just a plan for them. Adjust, and if you don't sleep well Tuesday night and you show up Wednesday, you're foggy, your brain's tired, like I was on last Friday, guys, you have to be able to pull yourself out of the market, right? You have to be able to say, you know what, you are not prepared to trade, especially on a day like FOMC with Powell speaking. And for me, quad witching, I was like, I'm mentally drained. I'm going to make a mistake. So I'm better off making $0 than making a mistake and losing maybe 2, 3, 4,000. All right. But this week, guys, we have a lot on the go. FOMC on Wednesday, starting Tuesday, ending on Wednesday. They're not going to increase interest rates, but Powell will be speaking about it at 2:30. We have jobless claims, and then he is speaking again on Friday with a few other Fed speakers. Okay, so we have a pretty busy week in terms of Fed speaker, and right now that's what the market really cares about. Where are the interest rates going? Where's inflation at? Where are the interest rates going, and when are they going? Okay, so pretty busy week. Do I pay attention to volume when there's EMA rejection play? Not really. Like volume to me is most important on like critical levels. I think for the most part, when you've established a trend, like the volume just needs to be consistent for the trend to continue. It doesn't need to be crazy breakout volume. But right here, this whole day, once you were able to establish, okay, this tape is very weak, the trend is intact. It was just planned selling. All this was, guys, is just planned selling. It was, we're liquidating this all day, and the sooner you could pick up on that in the tape this morning, like right here, when it's dropping this hard, your RSI was in the 20s all morning with barely any bounce from 373 down to 360, no bids. And then, okay, you give it a 10 a.m. chance to reverse. When this rolled over, why is this not? When this rolled over here, that was really a that was just showing you that the planned selling was going to happen all day, right? When this did not V pattern and turn into a bigger move to the upside, this was just a relief rally. Then we got the sell off here. Again, this sell off here, retest EMA, boom to the downside. This was just planned selling. The tape was set before open. This is probably one big seller who had to wipe everything out or market maker. And this was pre-planned, right? So these are the type of setups that we want to keep a look at. And then especially here, right? When we break low a day, we all know the rule. When are things most likely to reverse, guys? From a huge sell-off from downtrend to uptrend. When is that likely to happen? Time of day. What time, guys? I know there's enough of you in here to answer. You guys know. 10 a.m., right? So if we're not going to reverse at 10 a.m. and we start making new lows at 2 in the afternoon, who's gonna dip by this? Who's dip buying this on quad witching 2 p.m. after the stock has had no bids all day and failed a 10 a.m. reversal, right? There is no hope in hell on that. So when you see that, you got to be licking your chops knowing like, okay, this thing's fucking dead, right? And it doesn't matter, oh, Facebook, they're such a good company, this cash, like, yeah, okay, great. Yeah, invest in them. But in terms of day trading them, guys, the last 2 hours on quad witching Friday, I mean, yeah, this was just money to be made. Every EMA test, you could see the inverted hammer, bearish engulfing candles, wicks to the upside. There was no interested parties in this until right at the end of the day, this thing ripped. But yeah. So this is actually another one I want to talk about here, guys. A few stocks I will touch on. Facebook. This thing to me looks pretty good for more downside this week as well. All right, this one is looking like it also wants to come to the downside, similar to SPY. So I will be looking to continue to have some downside setups with Facebook all the way down to 350s. All right, Qualcomm, guys, I will be looking to dip by this very soon. Okay, when this RSI can bleed towards 25, under 25, I'll take a shot at this. Again, this was one at 145 3-4 days ago. If we get this at 130, maybe even in the 120s, I really like that setup. Okay, I really like that setup. It's going to be coming into some major support here. Should at least create a little bit of a short-term reaction based on the RSI as well. So I really like that one. Qualcomm for a bounce higher. Amazon. So Amazon tried to break out of this. This is going to be easier to see on the 4-hour. We had this downtrend here, strong day here, trying to move to the upside, rejected 3,500, and now we're falling right back into this wedge, okay? So again, the level to the downside was 34.35. Once we broke that, we sold off 35 points here, all the way down to 3,400. So looking for that again to be our critical level. If we give this up again, this will probably even break 3,400, all right? But first we need to deal with 34.35. Apple, again, man, these big tech just got crushed on Friday. They got crushed. Apple still looks good for more downside here, guys. Again, a lot of these charts look very similar. Facebook, Apple, SPY, these were trying to hold up these trend lines that they had. And, it looks like we're going to drop to the downside here on Apple. Okay. So some levels to be watching will be this 142.5 area. And then we can also watch this 145 basically right here, whole number. Okay, support here, support there, and near Friday's low. Okay, what else we got? NVIDIA. I said this on Friday, guys. I think the semis are the key to the market moving forward. The semis have led the entire market this entire year. Okay, I don't know where the S&P 500 would be without NVIDIA being up 79% on the year, right? That's a huge weighting in the index. And, it's obviously very crucial for that to hold up. If this wants to give back some gains, this could probably get a little bit ugly for the entire market. So 218, guys, here, big level, right? We broke it above it here, retested it, retested, retest. The key thing to see here, though, is the momentum is clearly not to the upside anymore. This was very strong uptrend, and then now we're fading off. So I think if we get this to the downside here, guys, this may be the kind of the straw that breaks the camel's back. I think the semis are key to this market. Okay, so if this rolls under 218 and we see 210, 200, that could be bad for the market in general. All right. What else, guys? That's pretty much it. Upstart, keeping an eye on this. This thing's tough to trade, though. This thing's super tough. It's super, super, super tough to trade, guys. Yeah, I'll show you an example. I traded this on Thursday through the 295 break, which was all-time high, which was right here. Okay, so this was all-time high, guys. Break all-time high. And what do? We push up a point, we pull back two, we push up more, we pull back, we push up, and then we dump, right? This thing is tough to trade, very tough to trade. It seems like the best way to trade this thing is to buy the dips. Whenever there's a dip intraday on it, you're best off to try to buy these dips, these morning dips here, right? These morning little pullbacks. Try to buy the dip and keep somewhat of a tight stop loss. This thing is super bullish on larger time frames. So that's why the dip buying works, because the dip buying, we have the EMA to hold every time. So they really, the dips don't go that far to the downside, but the breakout, they're tough to trade on the breakouts. Very tough to trade. You get these really big wicks where you push up and you get sucked back in 10, 15 points. And that'll crush you, right? So this thing is super strong. I'm not looking to short this yet, guys. Maybe at like 350. Every time I think about shorting it, it just pulls back, bull flags, and pushes higher. You can't short something like this, right? You need to short. You need something that looks like this, right? Just straight green. But because you can't short a bull flag, you already know it's going to break out. But this you can, this you can short, right? So this is going to be something I'm looking to short. Upstart, that thing's a beast. I'm going to leave it alone. Guys, any stocks you want me to chart here for you quickly? Okay, if not, take a few minutes after we're done here, set your intentions for the week. What do you want your week to look like? I'm a huge believer in trading and in life. You have to be, you have to dictate your actions. You can't sit back and be reactive all the time. Oh, I'm just going to do whatever the market wants me to do. No, come in and tell the market what you want it to do. It doesn't mean ignore what it's doing, but you have to come with that energy that you're going to be the one who makes the decisions, right? And that may mean just saying no to shitty trades, walking away, sizing up on good trades, right? Not just being pushed around with the market and always chasing this and that. Stand your ground, guys. Make sure you know what your setups are, size up when you get them, and just know, hey, we have some big events this week. There's probably going to be some opportunity. All right. So make sure you're ready to capitalize. Make sure you plan if you have a smaller account, make sure your buying power is, you're on days like this, don't blow your buying power before Powell talks, because there may be a really good opportunity, right? So on a day like that, make sure you keep some buying power. All right. Maybe a Friday, we don't trade the open. We wait till Powell's done talking, right? And then we get some more opportunities, especially if you have limited buying power. All right, guys, that's it from me. Hope you guys had a great weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. We'll be doing voice. All right, peace out.